Here's another interesting view of the data. If we look at the height of this really represents the amplitude or the movement or size of the hold. And number one and number two, where is it? Is it in the 10 ring? And so this was this first shot, my 10.8, and you can see that, you know, this amplitude of this, when I show you the other graphs, you'll see the amplitude of this hold is very, very good. And as we approach the green into the blue here and into the follow-through, nice long follow-through, good solid 10 ring, small amplitude. Let's look at the next shot here. This one was at 10.2, and you can see that the amplitude of the hold was higher, number one. Number two, it spent more time outside of the 10 ring. It also had a component that was well into the 10 ring, but it on one end of the wobble, but it also spent some time out. Now you can see, look, as I approach the shot, look how all of a sudden the hold gets smaller. So the issue with this one was that it was on its way out, poor follow through. Now let's look at the next shot. This was a 10.6, very similar to the earlier one, a little more amplitude to the red, but a decent follow through. But you know, not too long after the shot broke, I was on my way out of the 10 ring, way out of the 10 ring. Next shot, 10.5. That one is a good solid shot, pretty low amplitude on the red, stayed pretty well within the 10 ring on the green and the blue, decent follow through. Next one, this one occurred a little quicker, but as you can see, the hold went from mediocre, and a lot of this because of the amount of time we're recording, you're not seeing this, but because the shot broke fairly quickly, you're getting to see the bigger amplitude of the movement until I really start in on the hold. Interesting pattern here. It was right outside the 10 ring. It was like I saw it out and then I pushed it in, I broke the shot, and then within the hold through it came outside the 10 again. So I think I would label this a lucky shot, number one, and number two, the fact that I had a good long hold afterwards is one of the reasons that this stayed a 10, a good solid 10, 10.5. This one here, look at that. I'm hovering, my hold is hovering half in, half out of the 10 ring, and then all of a sudden, boom, I come into the 10 ring, real solid into the 10 ring, break the shot, follow through is in the 10 ring. So while it didn't look that great coming into it, it came to be a good solid shot when it mattered and had a good hold through on the end of it. Here's another one, just hovering, and on the 10, it was like a 10-9, a whole 10, you know, hovering outside. And this is, I think, more of a placement, you know, where sight picture looks good, but you're slightly off to one side. And for whatever reason, when I break the shot, you know, at the end there, I am seeing it better, and I'm applying my trigger squeeze correctly and maintaining, you know, inside the 10 ring. You know, that thing came up at 10.5, even though it looks like I'm hovering about 50% in the 9 with the hold. 10.3 on this one, good solid hold leading up to it, but I would have to say trigger pressure or something didn't go very well, because, you know, I broke it, you know, good solid 10, and then I'm immediately on my way out. So this is an area I really need to work on, where I need to get that purple line looking much better. Here's a 10.5. Again, you know, hovering outside the 10, solidly out in the 9 ring here, completely out in the 9 ring for my hold, and then all of a sudden, boom, kind of like I pushed it in to the center and held it in the center, because the next half, 3/4 of a second, I'm still solidly in the 10 ring. So I think the point of all this is that there are several different ways. This was a very good shot. Held solid 10, broke it solid, good hold through. There's several different ways that these shots are occurring, which is highlighting the inconsistency in my execution. And from a percentage basis perspective, anything I can do to make them look more like this one, then the higher my scores are going to be.